Hello and welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video, and that is the Schuzum or Schuzum Diaz. And I'm doing my initial thoughts, and I'm not. I'm gonna say it's. I'm not very impressed by it. I don't think a lot of people are, but it. Let's go into some positives first. This suit, it does a lot of damage, and it has really great beam and ballistic resistance. So you can be you can tank damage and deal a lot of damage, especially with if you get your rocket launcher off, then shoot them with your your sawed off double barrel shotguns on your back there. It's really good stun lock potential, and if you want to go in for a melee, well, you can do a camper thing where you stun them, get close to them with your melee, wait for them to do a dodge roll, or and then you can stun them again or do your melee. It's really great at dealing damage and all that. Also playing with my friends Zero, Gendry, Wayland, and James Harpoon. However, even though it is very tanky, what good is a tank if it gets stunned by everything possible? And if you can run up and fucking stab it with a knife. So this thing has 2 melee resistance, which at 550 to 600, that is a death sentence for this suit. Especially with how far some of his range goes. A lot of his range could be chopped up to being mid-range, like his rocket and his beam pistols, which his beam pistols do less damage than the Rick Diaz beam pistols. I want to say they have lower fire rate, but I have to double check on that. But yeah. So some Chucklefuck Mark II can literally just stun you, walk up to you, and do his Mark II combo, and you're at half health. And that's not even worrying about if somebody else stumbles on you, like in a 2v1 or all that crap. Because think of all the generals, not Ray types, generals that do a stun to melee combo in this game. Think of the not only the Mark II, think of the Stallman or I think Stallman will probably be a little bit more on the weaker side, but the Zeta Gundam, the DJ will have a blast tearing your ass apart because you have no mobility, or any kind of stuff to help you because you're massive. It really sucks playing this suit sometimes because you can go in and back up your team, but all it takes is one dude looking at you to shoot you, because almost everybody in this game at 550 to 600 has a stun rifle or some kind of stun capability, like instantly. And then you're out of the battle for a few seconds, even longer if they knock you down. And it doesn't take much. Its counter, though, it does really have a really badass counter. The flying knee adjusts is like the other Rick Diaz. But, man, yeah, it's tough. It's the thing I hate about the most is it's supposed to be a better Rick Diaz, but it has nothing that makes the Rick Diaz in this game good. What I thought or think would be really interesting for this suit to have had is the double tackle or double dodge roll, whatever. I guess double tackle that the Rick Diaz had, or at least maneuver armor, to give it something similar to it, to make it more just like the Rick Diaz, make it a little bit more different from other support types, to make it more powerful. Just to be able to go around in mid-range and provide support. Another weird thing is this thing has the scout paralleling device. I think that's what that skill is called, where it has its radar out for when it's zoomed in. But as far as I can tell, there's no reason to zoom in with this suit. You can, it's kind of like with the Mudrock, where you can pretty easily just, just do it in third person. Just shoot at people with your your shoulder cannons. Although, I guess the left side, you gotta be careful about your left side beam in case you hit somebody. But you don't have to worry about that because, I guess I missed this positive, but it does penetrate. That beam cannon does penetrate. But, so you can, I guess in maps that have really good choke points, like Mountain, you can shoot at a group of people and just, do a lot of good damage, which is alright. But that can't be the only thing this suit has to make up for not having any kind of way to just work in the chaos of a battle. Like here, it's going to be hard to hit a rocket. I can hit my beams and all that. I can shoot them with my my lower cost or lower damage beam pistols. I can only rely on my double beam bazookas, which aren't the most powerful thing in my cost. I also have the sticky stuff, which that can be useful for reading rolls, forcing people to do options. But yeah, it's the one thing though is that since it has all this mid-range stuff, it only has 2 melee resistance, which you can actually build that up, and I've done that for one of my loadouts. But even then, man, it's just it's a good suit. Like it can do exceptionally well. But that's if people just ignore you, if they're just being stupid. Like, all it takes is, like, this dude. I'm lucky my team was there for me. That dude could just run a train on me. And I'd lose all my health despite, being at advantage against him. Which sucks. I feel like they need... The thing about support types now, as we're getting to the... more and more into 600 and 650, possibly 700, since now we're getting a bunch of double Zeta stuff. They'll probably save 700 for like Unicorn and Char's counterattack, stuff like that. Supports are going to have to start playing different at this point. One of the most successful... I don't know how that didn't hit me. That would have killed me for sure, but I don't know how. How that missed. Holy shit, I got lucky. One of the more popular support types that goes at 600 is the full armor 7th Gundam. And the thing is, that has movement options. It has force injectors, and it helps it do well. It can go up in the front lines. They can do multiple playstyles. You can sit back and hang and shoot around, or you can get up close and tangle with some generals really easily. Like, you can combo them, which is awesome to do as a support. Not a whole lot of supports play like that. It's because of that movement option it gets. And so far, I want to say that's the only support type on the ground that has force injectors. There might be another one I'm not thinking of. Needless to say, though, a lot of supports they don't have stuff to keep them alive. They don't have mobility or some kind of armor on them besides stuff like the Zoc or the Hidolfer and the assault gun tank. Oh, well, by the way, we got top assist score, which is pretty good, but I get pretty low in placement. 10th place. Ooh. 0 kills and 3 deaths. But hey, I got pretty good in pursuit assist and assist, so I was doing pretty alright there. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I feel like supports moving forward past 600 or at 600 should have a lot more options when it comes to moving mobility wise and just defense wise, because a lot of the support suits are still the same past 200 cost where they're all they can't move for shit, and they have a shoulder on their shoulder, a cannon on their shoulder. Which with the Nemo 3 that works because it can pretty much rapid fire that in a way, and it does a lot of damage, and it has the beam rifle to go with it, and pretty far-reaching Vulcans. This Diaz, the Shawarma Diaz, it's a big target. it gets stunned like just any other suit. Has none of the abilities that the original Rick Diaz has. If this thing would have had the double tackle, that would have been fine, so it can at least trick people up. Or you know what? Maybe you can have a dodge roll for once. Maybe we can have our first support suit with a dodge roll, since they kind of want you to play a little bit closer. It seems like with this suit. But this suit, I cannot recommend you to spend tokens on this suit. It's a good suit, but the way they want you to play it is so confusing because it's mid-range. Most of its weapons are mid-range, but it also has the scouting ability, so you can snipe with its double beam cannons, but they don't do as much damage as your rocket. And you have a high damaging melee. From what the little video showed, you can do that. Stun them, go into melee. But at the same time, it has absolutely no melee resistance, to the point where a general type can act as a raid type against it. It's utterly bonkers whatever you're supposed to do with this suit. For that reason, I cannot recommend it at all. If they gave it at least... If maybe we could have had the first support type with actual maneuver armor, unlike the not like armor like the Zoc or the Hidolfer when they're driving. Just maneuver armor would have worked for it, since it's the Rick Diaz but better, supposedly. Could appreciate some force injectors, because that could help it move around combo, like the 7th Gundam. Maybe more damage on its beam pistols too. I don't know why it does less damage in the Rick Diaz's beam pistols. Just something. Again, I go back to where these new support suits are going to come out. They're going to have something to do, because there's I used to play the Zamo a whole lot, but that thing's practically a sitting duck right now because of all these flying raid types that can come up on you and stun you while in flight mode, then drop down and combo you to death, or just any suit that can't get away from that. Which, of course, it's supposed to put emphasis on your team, playing as a team, but there's some situations where that doesn't work, and the raid's hell-bent on taking out the support, and the support dies rather quickly against oh no, they can just snipe you too. Now Humbrabi has the sniping tool, the Fayadine rifle. They don't even have to get close to you. He can either fly at you and kill you, single you out, or he can snipe at you from a distance. And if you try to boost away, well, you get stunned. You try to fight him, well, you're going to get heavy staggered because you can't move. I'd like to see a flying support. So if you see somebody flying towards you, you can potentially move out of the way. You can reposition yourself even faster. Even faster. You can reposition yourself faster compared to just walking on the ground, which could help, do some kind of strategy on certain maps, like desert. Maybe you can go from one position to another, one area of the map to another. Places like destroyed city or city ruins, that would help a lot. Even in space, just any kind of ability for the support types that isn't crouching related or anything like that. But whatever. I think we'll get a flying support type eventually, but I really hope it's sooner rather than later. Right now I just hate playing supports at 550 to 600 unless it's in a certain way. Like the Nemo 3 on certain maps is amazing. MLRS can be pretty fun too. I've actually got a few of those matches recorded MRS is pretty good support, and the of course I can't forget the oh my goodness, I can't even remember its name. The Gelgu Jaeger. That one actually that thing doesn't have the skills that other supports have, or maybe I'm thinking this up. No, it has mobility to go with that one too. It's fast, which I guess you can say the Schwarz Diaz is fast, which I guess it has that going for it, but it still gets stunned, stun locked. And has to get close to use some of its weapons. So, but yeah, that's the end of this video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section what you feel about the Shawarma Diaz. I already know a lot of people aren't impressed with it. I'm not impressed with it. I like I said, I already went back to previous support suits. And again, I'll repeat it like the fourth, third, fifth time that we need some supports that are gonna have different abilities in the future. Because if not, then they're the worst thing to play right now at 500 to 600. They're the absolute worst thing to be. You're practically playing sitting duck the entire time. And that gets kind of boring after a while. Support types are my favorite types to play, but at 500 to 600 it's just hell. And yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.